तपाईँको च्यानल त मैले सब्सक्राइब गरेर राखेको गोविन्द फेरि गोविन्द भनेर होइन
त्यो च्यानल त गरेको छैन।
कस्तो लाग्यो कम गरिदियो गरिदियो
कति हजार छ?
एकजनाले
ए आइसक्यो।
टाइटल टाइटल कपी गरेर राख्नु
च्यानल उन्नी त होइन।
माइक अन रहेछ।
with a nice average of 34 for Noman Zafar. Steams in for the second over.
Incredible start once again. I'm
What-
loving what I'm seeing, Abdul.
What has been consistent with Noman Zafar is his swing. Out of 7 balls he's bowled, we've seen them on 5 deliveries that he's able to take that swing on offer. Tries of catches will go over the head of the fielder inside the circle because power play, only 2 fielders there. Not sure his intention was to go over the fielder, but yes, he did get some of it.
Signs of aggression here by Arjun. We also saw that yesterday when he danced down the track and hit 1 over long off for a 6. This time going over long off once again and driving it. I beg your pardon, Anil, not Arjun Saud. Once again, some inconsistent bounce there. We saw
Reminiscent of what happened with Kanwar Tadgur.
Tadgur, exactly. And we see that spot from which the ball doesn't take off and you get an extra bounce in front of the keeper. And probably that's something which we saw in the pitch today morning, Abdul. A lot of bare patches.
I'm sure that the side at the pavilion end was a little worn out with rough patches and much more moisture on the other side from the north end. And you can expect that on the full deliveries, the batter will have to bend down and carve it out on himself, because there's not much bounce where they'll be able to meet the sweet spot of the bat.
Beautifully bowled once again. Probably a perfect outswinger. The batter was caught in the crease, neither forward nor back. And as we spoke in the previous over as well, too good a ball to get a batter out.
I think this is good from Arjun Saud. As long as he's not poking that one, he's not meddling it with, I think he's doing a good job surviving on crease, because for those type of balls, you don't try to do anything. It's just the bowler who's trying to communicate to you, trying to make his mark, telling you that it is dangerous. And if you try to play the game of ego, you'll definitely fall prey to his excellent balls, what Noman Zafar is bowling currently.
Yes, you're right. And that's a good leave once again. I think the batter has to kind of play the line and not follow the ball or poke at it. That's the secret to opening the batting. Just play the ball on its merit, straight down the line as far as possible and not poke at it. And that's what Arjun Saud has been doing so far this over.
And clean batting from both the openers. A good pair, strong pair, Nepal's found in form of Anil Kumar Shah and Arjun Saud. They understand each other's strength well. They communicate often.
Once again, a lovely outswinger, but a good leave. End of the over. Nepal 23 for the loss of no wickets after 4 overs.
Arjun Saud yet to open his account, and Anil Kumar Shah batting on 17 of 17. Projected score resembling to yesterday. We've seen this score of 288 at the starting of the innings, but then it was dragged down. It was pulled down by the bowlers of a high performance team.
Interesting to see an attempted slower ball by Irfan. Not something that you see that often, especially in the opening overs. Oh, that's a beautiful looking shot through the offside. Good effort at the boundary. I think the fielder has signaled for.
That's absolutely serene. He's driven that on the full here. And a genuine cover drive. No half shots from the batter.
Yes, we have seen two really good cover drives, one from Arjun and one from Anil as well.
And what a way to open Arjun's account. He gets off the mark with a boundary. After 8 balls. Prize of catches. Looks like this one was popped out. Might have to take a look at the replay to be well aware of what has happened. A shot of him. Shot of him.
Just falling short. And I think once again, Abdul, it kind of takes us back to yesterday's discussion. Should we look at getting the slips a tad closer to the stumps, or is it too early to call?
I mean, different conditions from the surface. If bowling at the pace of Irfan Sadat, that should have definitely carried to Ali Nadeem, a safe pair of hands.
Just as we speak, this one goes right over the keeper's head.
Too bitter for the batter. And the keeper also could not get hold of it. From one end, Irfan Sadat surprises us with his bouncer. And from the other side, the pitch has kept few surprises in store for us to see that how low the ball remains. Getting back to the same discussion about the pace, how Irfan Sadat bowls at, this is a trademark of him, that he's able to generate that pace in the dead surface to where it's very dry, and still he's able to get the bouncer over the head of the keeper. That clearly says that he's not short of his skills. It's the track. It might need some help. With yesterday, the pitch was assisting the new ball. But today, it is more slower than yesterday because they're playing on towards the right-hand side of the pitch they've played yesterday on.
Absolutely.
So I think today, if Irfan's bowling to bowl more fuller, he has to remain constant to the set of plan. Because at the slip cauldron, if he's bowling at that pace, if he's using the channel back of the length, then that's the right position. But if he's clear, you've seen that in the first over, second over, the ball stayed low.
Nicely played with soft hands this time around. Yes,
Well,
it's an interesting wicket, Abdul. I think as we see the end of the over, 35 for no loss after 5, I think we'll... in terms of how the pitch will play.
And mind you, it has also rained yesterday a bit, so there should be enough moisture, and it'll take some time for the moisture to dry off the track. And the introduction of spin will hold the ball a bit, and then the batter will have to play it late, is what I assume. But getting back to the discussion, it is upon the captain and the bowler to decide that what his line and the length is to be, because if they are calling Ali Nadeem a bit forward, some excel skills from Nauman Zafar, Control C and Control V. Exactly the same line, same length, and it's just the replay of Nauman Zafar and his bowling skill set.
Yes, I think we have seen that consistency from him in the last few balls that he's bowled. And it's brilliant to watch, to be honest. It's a treat to watch. Such a beautiful outswinger, starting at middle and off and beating the outside edge. It's just about time that he might find the edge. Or does he have an in-swinger as well? We'll get to know soon.
If he's got one in-swinger, that'll be great. It'll surprise me and Arjun Saud too.
Oh, that's beautifully bowled. Did not carry. As we have seen from this end, the ball isn't carrying that much, even to the keeper, let alone the slips.
Mightily impressed by Noman Zafar and the change what the coaching team's done with the high performance team. Especially they've brought in Noman Zafar to replace Zahid Shirzad. His swing has been the exclamation mark for not only us, the viewers. Look at that. The captain giving extra support, the cushion to the bowler, how he is bowling to support him. That improves not only the confidence, also the morale of the bowler.
Great to see a third slip coming in. Oh, that is an incredible delivery once again. We are seeing something special out here by this young lad. Norman bowling some real Jaffa. There's hardly anything that a batter could do in this occasion.
Survive. That's all you would expect from the batter. Hang in there, sit tight, and the team spirit from Anil Kumar Shah and Arjun has definitely been shown here. The fact about playing in unison, at times the teams lack, especially when the team's growing. They are vying for that position. They're fighting for it. But here, the scorer who's been taking the lead, Anil Kumar Shah, is talking to Arjun, saying that it's okay, let the ball go to the keeper, let it nestle in. It's okay for you to hang in there for a little bit of more time.
Nicely bowled and nicely played this time around. That's interesting, Abdul. I think we are seeing two different approaches from the two players, which is also very nice to watch. We see Arjun being the traditional, blocking and playing with good technique kind of opener. And I'm not saying by any means that Anil's technique is not good, but the point is they're having two different approaches. Arjun is trying to kind of play it straight, leave the ball, whereas when Anil is on strike, he's trying to kind of use his feet more, trying to put off the bowler off his line and length and trying to take the aerial route as well as time. So that's an interesting approach. It's kind of, that's pretty much what we call as fire and ice. And it seems to be working well for Nepal as an opening combination. Nicely behind it.
And let me tell you that Anil's batting style has helped Nepal in the initial phase of the innings. And if you can see on your screen that 18 runs being scored by Anil Kumar Shah has taken on the charge. He's the flag bearer of Nepal at the initial part of the innings, and he's telling that you guys can relax till I'm there on the crease. I'll be able to score runs, but you make sure that you anchor the innings, and your job is to carry forward from there. I'll get rid of the shine of the new ball. I'll tackle them. The rest is upon you.
This time slightly shorter, which enables the batter to just push it on to mid-on and get a single. End of the over once again. Slightly wideish one. Arjun, contrary to his style, trying to chase this one. Wide called by the umpire.
Reeling back to our conversation, heading back again, and that not only helped the other team, but also Arjun, who took time yesterday to get started. And then later on, after departure of Anil Kumar Shah, he was the aggressor. He was succeeding in the ways how Anil Kumar was scoring. So a slow start. He takes his time. Nicely cut away.
Air and taken.
But not nice enough for the batter. Arjun saw to clear the slip. And the trick is worked out. It is again Irfan Sadat who stifles Nepal. On the rebound, collected. It was hit hard enough, but not too hard to go over the head of the point fielder.
Yes, I think that's a great catch in the end. He timed his jump perfectly. Could not hang on to it in the first time, but he kind of reduced the momentum of the ball by popping it up and taking it on the second attempt. Slightly unlucky for Arjun. Probably, would have wanted it to go for a boundary given that it was short and wide, but I think the bounce kind of outdid him. And early success today for Canada, contrary to what we saw yesterday.
Arjun Saud. Dave Cannell, who did play some strokes yesterday. We've seen his hitting. He's been promoted up the order.
These wonderful pictures that you see on the screen are brought to you by the Six Creations. We have a producer, Gagan, sitting right with us in the commentary box. And he's been spot on with his replays and with his coordination of the beautiful camera setups that he has. So kudos to Cricket Canada and the Six Creations for bringing these pictures to us. Oh, that's a misfield. The ball is rolling down towards long on. Probably would be a couple of runs to the batter.
Now, Dave Cannell, I beg your pardon for giving wrong stats. Dave Cannell was dismissed for a 0 yesterday. I mistook him with Kushal Bhurtel. It was Dave Cannell who was dismissed for 0. Yep. Fast-paced game just like that with a fiery block hole ball. Does it to you that at times you overread the condition and the batter.
Absolutely. Irfan was pretty good with his fast Yorkers yesterday in the middle overs. He was consistently trying to hit the block hole. As we saw this coming out of nowhere, I think it kind of took the batsman by surprise. He's got that extra nip about him, the extra yard of pace which he generates with that fuller delivery. And as a tall batter, it's always important to get your bat down on time, which is what Dave Cannell did on this occasion. Short and wide once again, left alone.
Good leave there. This is the second time Irfan's pulled his length back, bowling shorter one. And I would say that it is a shared wicket between Irfan Sadat and Noman Zafar, especially how Noman Zafar is trying to pile the pressure onto the batter, and where he tried to bowl it a bit wider to the batter. He felt that it is an opportunity for him to score, but he fell prey for his own trick. He tried hitting it hard, but could not time it where the fielder was good enough to collect it on the rebound. Just picked that beautifully there, and a good hand and eye coordination. A boundary for Dave Cannell. Opens his account and is trying to recover from the nightmare from yesterday where he was dismissed for 0. A good start and a good pickup shot into the leg side.
Yes, that's beautifully played in the vacant square leg region. As we see the replay coming on screen, a half volley on leg stump. Oh, I beg your pardon, this was the wicket replay.
You've been played, you've been looted by Gagan there.
Yeah, that was a good one by Gagan. As we see...
Making sure if you are awake or not.
And a beautiful cover drive and a nice stop in the cover region. Restricts it to 1. And off the end of a successful over.
Loose start from Canada. They were giving easy runs, easy boundaries coming in. Yes, Irfan Sadat's able to get hold of a wicket, but look at the score. It's 6.29, much better than yesterday. Nepal has learnt a good lesson from their start. They are trying to score on the merit. They are making sure that the singles do not dry up. The innings is in fluidity.
That's right. And I'm extremely impressed with Norman Zafar out here. I think he has been phenomenal today in this spell. Would be interesting to see how he goes against Dave Cannell, the new batter.
27 runs came off Irfan Sadat's over and only 11. 4 overs bowled by Irfan Sadat, and this is the 4th over by Norman Zafar too. I think the captain may want to use Sadat for one more over. He can try a bouncer to Dave Cannell.
Once again, you see that outswing.
Good lead.
The batter trying to charge down the wicket and trying to use his feet.
Out of 18 balls, 15 have been dot balls. You might wonder how 11 runs for Noman Zafar, that very first cover drive for Noman Zafar, it was full, making sure batter tries to come on to him. That's one boundary and another one taking on Noman Zafar.
Oh, that is a beauty once again. This time, a perfect line and a perfect length, drawing the batter forward as we see the replay coming on screen. This is what you call the perfect banana outswinger. Incredible to watch. This is a great spell out here by Noman. Beautiful bowling.
If he's going to bowl in similar fashion, the only place for the batter to remain safe would be the pavilion. This is delightful for any fast bowler who's looking for swing. That's how you do it. And look at the seam release of his wrist. He locks his wrist. Even the greatest of the bowlers, you would have listened from Wasim Akram, Brett Lee. It's just the positioning of your ball and the grip you hold in your hand.
That's a nice looking stroke. Slightly fuller and driven to mid-off. No runs though. Yes, Abdul, I think that's the key, right? As an opening fast bowler or swing bowler, the positioning of your wrist, how you cock it, and how you kind of release the ball with the seam being upright. That's the whole principle towards fast bowling.
Look at the bowlers right now with Josh Hazelwood. He's one of the bowlers who uses his run up to generate pace, not his shoulder. Exactly how Noman Zafar is doing. And I would say that Bhuvneshwar Kumar is someone who's more rhythmatic than anyone I've seen. Just to compare Bhuvi, there's James Anderson, the GOAT. Anyone who's able to generate swing had controlled wrist position, knowing where they're landing, and their run-up was super smooth, knowing how to do it. Nothing too much that stiffs their hamstring. They know what they're doing in when he runs in. Just come in, clock it, and then release. A proper release on his controlled wrist.
Once again, nicely bowled. Looking for the quick single. It just makes it on time. That was really tight.
Good work by Nicholas Manohar to come forward and nestle it in his pouch.
Yes, and I think what I also like, Abdul, about Norman out here, he's stuck to his strength. I think he's really comfortable with the outswing going, and that's his stock delivery. And he's been really consistent at that. I think a lot of times what happens in these scenarios, looking at the ball swing like that, is that the bowler can get carried away and they might try to experiment a bit. But I think he's relying on his consistency. He's relying on the patience and playing on the patience of the batter as well. He wants them to make a mistake instead of him trying something different.
Indeed, he hasn't been impatient, and his fundamental has been to make the batter play. Just not to get hold of the wicket, to ensure that the batter tries to come down onto him and see what he's got. He'll try to test himself, experiment himself. With that, the 8th over ends and 45 for 1 wicket for Nepal. Irfan Sadat to continue his fifth over. And the ninth over, which falls short of the keeper as well as the first slip. Fielder Ali Nadeem looked like an off cutter where he rolled his fingers on the ball. Much more slower, expecting for pace. Dev Khanal was beaten by the pace.
Yes, this is once again a great start to the over by Irfan. As we speak, he comes up with his customary loose delivery once again, Abdul, down the leg side, and this is 4 wides as well, which is not good from Canada's perspective. I think this is a proper pressure release ball.
Very murky, and I'm disappointed with the length of Irfan Sadat, who's very well capable enough to produce a good delivery, just like he did on for his wicket. But this is absolutely loosener, and 50 comes up for Nepal with that wide and the extra boundary.
In quick time as well. A run rate of 6.12, which is pretty good considering the conditions. Nice and solid looking defense out here by Dev.
This is no excuse from Irfan Sadat having the experience and who's shown us on display yesterday what he's capable of, and today just missing a bit to carry that consistency from day one. Might get a bit tired, who's played yesterday 50 overs game. Not easy, but testing times make good, strong sports people.
Oh, was that a catch? Was that a chance?
That was
driven straight back.
Rocket straight from the batter. No chance for Irfan Sadat on his follow through to collect that one. Very straight and a good looking shot by Dev Khanal.
I just felt that that was catchable, Abdul. I know it's difficult in the follow through, but he just went there with a half-hearted, one-handed effort. Probably, if he had tried a little more, he might have been able to kind of stop the ball or maybe even catch it.
Umpire Bridge did a good job to get out of that. Follow through is difficult. It is a bounty as a fast bowler if you're able to get hold on to one on your follow through.
As we see another slower ball bowled by Irfan.
Better clarity of mind from Dev Khanal today. Who's looked good on his footwork, knowing where he's playing, what he's doing. Less ambiguity. Know that smooth seas have never produced a good sailor. So Irfan Sadat will have to cherish whatever is thrown at him, especially with the high performance side. This opportunity is impactful for him. That puts me in a question to see if that ends the over. Had to take a brief pause. I think a ball remains.
This has been a productive over for Canada. 4 wides and a boundary coming off it. I beg your pardon, for Nepal. And that's the end of The ninth over, Nepal 54 for the loss of 1 wicket.
17 extras. Can you believe that? 17 extras in.
I know it's not easy sometimes to control the swing, but then 17 is one too many for the first 10 overs of a game.
Their repentance should be they should be bowling tightly on the line and giving no room and making it difficult for the batters of Nepal. This Noman Zafar will continue.
Oman has given him a lot of confidence with having 3 slips. I like the feel that they have for him, enticing the batter to drive on the offside.
Why shouldn't they give Noman Zafar that type of feel when he's been so explicit with his swing? Is doing the right job, but what has really disheartened me is the wicket. But it has also given me a chance to speak about his perseverance in the pursuit to get hold of one of them, either Dev Khanel or Anil Kumar Shah, is that he's been sticking to the plan. He's not going too far ahead of the plan, thinking of a way for his personal accolades that I might try something odd, I might try something unpredictable that might either throw Noman Zafar off his balance. There's a fair possibility of throwing the batter off his balance too, but why try something very unpredictable?
Style bowling this. Working on the mind of the batter, looking to kind of see who blinks first. Great to watch from a viewership standpoint. Explicit skill on display out here by Noman Zafar. Beautiful outswing bowling. I think he deserves a wicket for sure, Abdul. Would be interesting to see if he can pick one in this over.
Would like to see him pull his length an inch shorter. Just like that.
And also would be interesting to see if there's a change made from the opposite end. If they would continue with Irfan Sadat or will they introduce a new bowler?
I personally would not want to see Irfan Sadat coming on for the next over. That is because he's bowled 5 overs and he's leaking runs. So they should definitely give that rest to Irfan Sadat. He'll be able to coalesce himself together. And then the change will be interesting. They might try Sheel Patel, who's good with the off spin, who's having the ability to control the new ball. They might be the go-to bowler if they are looking for some turn of the surface. Sheel Patel can be their go-to man.
Wonderful bowling once again out here by Noman. I think he's been rock solid. He's held one end steady. Just needs a partner at the other end to kind of keep things under control as well.
17 runs given in extras. I think that's freebie for Nepal, and they've done well. If they're just standing there and the runs are coming in for them, they should remain constant and just stand there. And thanks to the high performance side, who's not being able to hold themselves.
That's a nice looking shot, right in the gap, off the back foot, driven through the covers. And that'll be 2 for Nepal. As we see the replay on screen, good fielding in the end by the man chasing.
Wasn't sure if Anil Kumar wanted to go for that shot because he wasn't in the line of the ball. He just bounced off the track and not really. I wouldn't think that he wanted to go for the shot and then later he decided to finally go at it.
I think it also tells you a thing or two about the surface out here, Abdul. Probably it's a little slower. And that's the reason why he was able to adjust and play that shot in the end.
was Dev Khanel. Wasn't sure, not Anil Kumar. That ends the over with a bit of confusion. From his side. Surely we might see someone of spin. The question is it Padam Joshi from Montreal who's come all the way, or Sheel Patel, the local lad, who's got a name for himself? And as expected, it is going to be Sheel, who's a part of Surrey Jaguar in 2023 GT20. Remarkable economy for him, 3.79. Bowls quicker through the air, grips off the surface. That's his bowling attribute. I've given a slip for Sheel Ali Nadeem, who hasn't been moved from the first slip part. Still remains there, hoping he'll be able to get hold of one.
It's a good start. Right on the money. Nice to see him tossing the ball up, slowing it up.
The power play is done for Nepal. That's swept away, and Noman Zafar, who'll cover up, has done a good job.
We saw that the Nepal batsmen were quite comfortable sweeping from yesterday's game. And I think that's one area where Canada might have to consider probably putting an extra man on the onside. I quite liked what they did yesterday with wicket as well. As we see another sweep being attempted.
I'm sure that they haven't got the deep mid-wicket with the fact Sheel is not going to bowl between the stumps for him to go with long levers, especially Anil Kumar having the ability to
And
clear.
first signs of turn and bounce with that one. We saw this a lot yesterday in both the innings. Testing for the batters.
What makes it more fun is the unpredictable bounce of the surface. Sheel Patel finishes off his first over, 11 done, 59 for 1.
Looks like we have another change from the pavilion end this time. Noman Zafar has been given a rest. Nepal 59 for the loss of 1 wicket in 11 overs. And we have the left arm pace bowling coming in from the pavilion end. The first ball is a wide.
Too wide. Even it would have been a wide for the left-hander. The umpire, would not have to tell that. That's very evident. And a very loose ball
by Jasbir Singh, who has been just introduced into the attack. Left arm medium pace bowler coming in from over the wicket to the right-hander. Once again, a wide delivery down the leg side. They're attempting a bye and they're successful as well at getting them.
That is actually a good line for a left-hander, not for a right-hander. Angle makes a lot of difference for the bowlers and the batters too. He may want to try coming around the wicket because 2 times his ball in the same direction. First one, you can say that yes, it was a wide for the left. Stands, keeping his foot open just in case if he gets an opportunity. His body is open to swivel across and to get the result out of it. A game of nuances, rightly said yesterday, Venu. And from 2023 tour.
That's in the air. Probably will fall in no man's land. Not the best delivery to get a wicket. I would say luck favored Anil there. He just got a leading edge. He was trying to tuck the ball round on the leg side.
Only time Anil played a loose shot, and guess what happened? It wasn't the fielder, it was in the barren land. First time in the innings I've seen Anil looked puzzled. Wasn't a ball for him, he could have left it and the umpire would have called it as a wide. He just wanted to deflect it out of nowhere.
I think this is also early signs here, Abdul, of the pitch kind of holding up a bit. The ball not coming onto the bat as much as the batters would have liked. Oh, that's an interesting one. Probably an inside edge. He's trying to kind of bring the ball into the batter from this angle, and that's the best possible way to get an LBW. As we see, yes, clearly an inside edge onto the pads. And he has to kind of look to adjust his line a bit. Right now, he's way too leg side-ish. He needs to get the ball somewhere around middle and off to look for that LBW mode of dismissal or to get through the bat pad. Once again, down the leg side, hard on the keeper as well to collect those. Wide again. Not a good start here by Jasbir Singh. He needs to kind of find his rhythm quickly.
162, that was the highest score for Anil Kumar Shah when Canada was visiting Nepal, and they whitewashed Canada. Calling them, inviting them to their home and showing.
And Anil was trying to tuck it around the leg side. Managed to kind of just get it.
That was the first ODI series against Nepal for Canada in 2023 February when they won 3-0. An immediate tour after gaining ODI status. Not the likable start for the Canada side, and they exactly knew with that defeat what is there in the store that the nations are fully prepared. Now it's their chance.
That was nicely bowled. Slightly fuller. Still feel the line could have been a little better, but at least he's getting there.
Partnership of 30 runs and 34 balls. Major contribution by Anil Kumar Shah. While Dev Kanel, 15 runs to the contribution.
This time wider on the offside, not called by the umpire. End of the over. 12 overs done, 67 for 1 wicket. Nepal.
The equilibrium of bowling has been a little expensive on one side, and the other side it's been balanced by Sheel Patel. Over that he bowled 8 runs coming off his first over, and 12 in total for the innings. 67 for Nepal.
We see another change in bowling out here from the northern end. Interestingly, Sheel Patel just bowled 1 over. Could be possibly a change of ends for him. We don't know yet.
Sheel would have been a better option, in my opinion, again, from the north end. Having said, we've seen a couple of patches and surface being rub off. Sheel would have used those rough patches to his own good. But I'm surprised to see. But a good introduction in form of Salman Ghani, who managed to pick a couple of wickets yesterday. Who got hold of Arjun Saud on his own bowling.
Good start here by Rana Salman. Right on the money.
180 odd runs scored yesterday by Nepal, and Canada lost 7 wickets in the pursuit. So they'll have to be mindful. They'll have to be mindful of the amount of runs they're giving. After losing 7 wickets, then later they decided the top order batter, Oliver Cox, who walked in.
Driven down the ground, nicely fielded mid-off.
What do you think would be a good total? Especially Nepal might have felt that they are just 20-30 runs short from our discussion yesterday, because it might have given them some pressure and not enough for the bowlers to hold on.
Yes, I think, like we discussed yesterday, Abdul, 180 would have been a fighting score for sure, possibly a winning score too, given the conditions, given how the spinners were bowling. And it will be interesting to see when the spinners come out today and bowl in tandem, what will be the strategy by the batters? Will they look to play them out for singles and twos and take chances against the faster bowlers? Or will they look to kind of still go after the spinners? Because we saw a few bold and audacious shots being attempted yesterday, but it's not easy to play it on this surface.
A very young side, high-performance team. That is an excellent ball. Very young players, Ajay Veer Singh, Yuvraj Samra, who was the highest scorer for high performance yesterday. But every day cannot be a Sunday. But he might fall early today. He may not fall early. You cannot have the reliance just on one player. Because the whole objective of this formation of the side is that.
And that's another wicket as we speak. Played it on to the stumps. The ball not really
far way across the stumps. Onto his stump.
And I must say, Abdul, an interesting change which worked in favor of Canada. Rana coming in to bowl. He did the same thing yesterday. Got some wickets in the middle overs and he repaid the fate to his captain once again by picking up the wicket. As we head towards a short water break, we'll resume coverage in a couple of minutes. End of the 13th over and a successful one by Rana Salman Ghani. Bhim Sharki is the new batter for Nepal, who walked in after the fall of the second wicket, Dave Cannell. And as predicted, Abdul, we see a change of ends for Sheel Patel, who's now coming on from the pavilion end.
I think the point was to replace Sahib. I apologize if I got his name wrong. The left-handed fast bowler,
Jasbir Singh.
Jasbir Singh.
Sheel Patel, that's an interesting delivery. Came in with the arm and left alone by Anil Kumar Shah. Nepal's batting now kind of rests on his shoulders, given that he's been there from the beginning.
Nicely bowled. He's got that ability to swing the arm way faster, try to fire his arm balls. Sheel has been very efficiently effective for the teams he's played for with that change of pace.
Oh, that's
And
a beautiful delivery as we speak.
this is much more flighted, so the mix and match of his variations has really worked in his own favor. And he's definitely come through the ranks. Every time he tries to implement something new into his bowling.
Attempted sweep this time once again.
Inside edge comes as a savior.
Absolutely. Otherwise, it was a good call for LBW. Nicely bowled once again, keeping it really tight here, Sheel. Not giving anything away.
He's young, he's got potential. What I love about Sheel is that he's traveled around to get better on his bowling. He's been to India, he's been to Bermuda, he's been on different part of different places to the world. End of the over, 67 for 2.
Rana Salman Ghani, continuing from the northern end. If you're watching this feed live, this has been brought to you by the Six Creations in conjunction with Cricket Canada. And if you're around the King City area in Ontario, and if you would want to watch this match live as well, feel free to drop in and come and support the team. As we see Rana Salman Ghani charging in. Oh, that's a lovely stop at gully. Canada fielded really well today. It's not given too many runs on the field. Majority of the runs have been coming through the extras, conceded through byes and wides. I think that's one area which they need to really tighten up. Bhim Sharkey. That's a lovely end to this over. Wonderfully bowled by Rana Salman Ghani, who is producing these wicket-taking deliveries every over. I think there's one more ball left in the over as per the umpires. And they bring in an extra slip. Good call by the captain. And a wonderful channel from Rana to finish off the over. After the end of 15 overs, Nepal and we see Sheel Patel continuing from the pavilion end.
No runs so far given by Rana Salman Ghani. And I'm happy that I was proven wrong by Rana Salman Ghani's introduction. And Sheel Patel bowling from the pavilion side. We've seen him bowl those rippers drifting off the surface. Talking about his love to attain better approach towards cricket, tuning in his skill set. Sheel has never fallen short of going to different part of the world. His constant learning has been his friend, and you can surely see that why he is a part of high performance side.
Bhim Sharkey would be facing Sheel Patel now.
Had the pleasure of having a conversation with Sheel, and always tries to say that the more I try is to control my action and just making those distinction between the change of pace. That has really helped him in the club games I've seen Sheel bowl.
Nicely tossed up once again.
Slightly different action from the spinner. If you can say that he bowls a wide arm action than a high arm action that gives the ball a drift from the offside. See that how it angles in from the wide arm that allows the ball to come in with the angle with the help of some assistance on the surface.
Tight line once again. And I think with that wide arm, Abdul, that's when the arm ball also becomes really effective. And if we can turn one away and bring one in, it's always confusing for the batters as well. And that's what kind of creates that doubt in the batter's mind. As we see another beauty out here by Sheel. This one did not turn much, but had a lot of bounce on offer and kind of went straight through.
It was Ali Nadeem and his hilarious appeal from the first slip. Who thought that to be out with his small squat position, both his arms going high.
We were just speaking about the arm ball, and that's what he rolled up this time around. Hitting the bat. Officiating today along with umpire Brij Kumar, who's now at the northern end with Rana Salman Ghani coming up to bowl to Anil Kumar Saha, who's on 24 of 40 deliveries.
He's got a swagger, umpire Brij Kumar, isn't he? He's got a watch, stopwatch, he's got his shades on. Always tries to dress himself, coming up for the job. Has always been disciplined to the work. A lot of experience that he brings.
Absolutely. I've had the pleasure of interacting with him. Been on a few commentary assignments earlier where he was officiating, and also had the pleasure of playing when he was officiating. So, yep, I can definitely agree with your assessment. He's spot on. Likes to keep things very professional and always well prepared. As we see another drive played through the offside. Half stop in the covers. Good fielding out here by Canada once again. With Bridge, what you see is what you get. He's always straightforward. If you ask him something, you'll get the right answer. And he doesn't like to kind of talk in circles. He'll just give you what you want.
Ever got into feud with Brij Kumar?
I wouldn't want to. I think one aspect of him and his umpiring is the way he controls the game, and that's exactly what you want to see an official do. Have control over the game when it comes to calming down players who are over enthusiastic or who are appealing excessively, and trying to give them a narrative that, you know, he's there, he's in charge, he's in control.
Excessive appeal reminds you of anyone?
Well, there's a lot.
Mohammad
lot of
Rizwan,
players
just to name one. He's beaten him. He's beaten him nicely there.
If you're a 90s cricket watcher, Abdul, I'm sure you will remember a lot of those close India-Pakistan games where you would have seen the likes of Kiran More, Rashid Latif, Moin Khan, all of these guys going bonkers when it came to appealing. They used to go up for everything, and especially if you're a keeper.
Having umpire Steve Buckner would have been a...
Let's cut away, and that would be a boundary.
That's been crunched into the boundary there by Bhim Sharkey. Look at him, who remains intact and waits for the ball, cuts late deliberately, wanting to cut in the direction of the third man. Despite a hard dive from the fielder, he still fails to contain the ball inside the rope. A good shot from Bhim Sharkey.
Yes, good shot, but as a bowler, I just feel I wouldn't be discouraged with that. We saw a wicket falling in a similar fashion while Irfan was bowling from this end, and this wasn't too far away from gully either. As we see another cut shot being attempted. So that's the end of the over as well. 73 for 2 Nepal from 17 overs, and it was about this time yesterday, Abdul, while the game be interesting to see how Nepal approached this phase, given what happened yesterday and given that there's still some turn and bounce on offer on this track as well.
Much more controlled approach from Nepal here, who are moderating the game currently. The projected score at this current run rate looks like they'll be reaching 215. For sure, if the wickets remain, if they're able to hold on to wickets, they'll look for a 250 mark at least if everything's going in their way as designed.
Nicely bowled once again. He's mixing it up really well, varying his pace and also his line and length, keeping the batsman guessing.
Not much change of line and length if you can see Sheel Patel when he bowls, but there's variation in his bowling. He introduces.
Oh,
Look at
that's
that!
beautifully bowled. As you were speaking, Abdul, bang on target.
Sheel Patel does not misses his mark much. It's rare for him to do it. His line, his length remains constant. It's just his variation that gives him the advantage over the batter. And the batter was trying to be a little smart, but Sheel Patel having the laugh.
I would say slightly loose shot given the context of the game and also what happened yesterday during this phase. We were just talking about it in terms of how the middle overs are crucial with spinners being effective on this wicket. I just felt that that was a loose shot and tried to play it against the line of the ball, tried to find the gap on the offside but could not make connection. Nepal need to make an effort today to play out the entire 50 overs and not get bowled out in this middle phase by giving out too many wickets to spin.
It was despicable effort from Nepal yesterday, even for the fans, not me, having the potential, having that firepower in the unit. The batters who are able to do has definitely downtrodden me. The effort they've put in yesterday. Shield remaining patient pays him off the dividends.
Mohammad Arif Sheikh, the new batter, drives it nicely down the ground to get off the mark. Good bowling out here by Sheel Patel, enticing the batters to come forward and drive the ball. And he has a slip waiting. He also has a short extra cover.
We are heading back in time again, Venu, for yesterday.
It looks like we were just speaking about this before this over in terms of how the game changed in these middle overs after the 15 over mark. And that's where we are seeing the game kind of change directions. And Nepal losing another wicket in this phase. Does this open the floodgates once again? We'll wait and watch. It's not easy as a new batter to come in and score runs. Nicely bowled. He's bowling to his field. You can see that he set the trap. End of the over. 75 for the loss of 3 wickets, Nepal, after 18 overs. Rana Salman Ghani.
See this different approach from top order of Nepal and then the middle order being introduced. Somewhere it looks like they are strangled, they are handcuffed, and the bowlers get very comfortable using their ploy against the batter because the openers are very different. Arjun Saud and Anil Kumar, they express what they want to do, they go according to the plan, they're very clear in their approach. But with the middle order, we've seen that hesitant approach yesterday and even today. The fall of wicket, the very first one was on 37 and 60 odd runs, second wicket, and the third wicket, it did not take long. It's just 10 runs difference. And you can see that if they're having that reluctant approach, they'll definitely not be able to express their shots what they have. They need to come out. They need to be on the top of the game here, Nepal.
Yes, I think kind of agree there with you, Abdul. I think the problem here is the inability to rotate strike in the middle overs. And that is causing a huge issue because it means that a bowler gets to bowl 5 or 6 balls at one batter. And that's kind of helping them set up the batter and they're not able to kind of rotate strike or keep the scoreboard moving as well.
Because this is not Nepal's first rodeo. They are here for a reason. They've been there, they've done that. And Arif Sheikh's ability for him to take any bowler across his stumps is absolutely stupendous because he connects the ball really well. He just needs to find that rhythm. And Bhim Sharkey, we've seen that cut which was played deliberately despite having the fielder in the third man region. That shows this team has enough power and is capable enough. They just need to go out there and express themselves freely without any performance pressure.
Nicely driven to mid-off. Yes, I think from what we have seen from yesterday's game is that it's not easy in the middle overs for the new batter to come in and directly start scoring runs. I think they need to kind of forge a partnership together. They need to spend some time in the middle to understand the pace of the wicket. As we saw yesterday as well, there was a lot of spin and bounce on offer. Oh, that's a beautiful delivery. Excellent ball to end the over. 77 for 3 Nepal. At the end of 19 overs. Good score after what we saw yesterday.
For me, anything about 200, 220 should be giving a tough fight to Canada emerging, the high-performance squad. The emerging players were definitely trying to make a mark on the selectors. The impression is that in a high-scoring game, having a strong opponent too gives the selectors an opportunity to explore a bit more, to see the strengths, how capable a player is. It was an easy walk yesterday, till Nepal in the end decided to make a little bit tricky for Canada high-performance squad. But anything about 200 should give the Nepal side that mental relief too.
Nicely bowled, nicely played off the back foot this time. Yes, I think I'm estimating somewhere around the 180 mark. That could be a fighting total as we saw yesterday. I think even today we see a lot of assistance in the pitch, especially for spinners, as we see this one being slog swept on the onside. A full toss, a rare loose delivery here by Sheel Patel.
It has to go to the batter. It has to go to the batter, Venu. Look at him coming down. That reach of him, knowing where to play, where the field placement was, hitting that in the gap. This is what I've been talking about Asif Sheikh. Hey, his ability to take on, swivel across, that's a benefit and an advantage. That's his core strength. He can play it. He can play the spin to his benefit because back in Nepal, the pitches also favor the spin. So this side is much more profound playing spin.
This time through the offside. Looking for 2 and just a bit of hesitation. I think it was the right call in the end to not go for the second. Slight misfield in the outfield, which prompted them to think about the second run. But now I think they decided against it, which was the right call in the end. That's beautifully bowled once again, taking the outside edge. Not carrying to the slip fielder, but definitely a moral victory for the bowler as we come towards the end of the 20th over. 83 for the loss of 3 wickets, Nepal. First over in operation, Rana Salman Ghani bowling to Bhim Sharkey. Played back down the ground. Would be interesting to see when a second spinner is introduced by the high performance squad from Canada. We have seen a lot of assistance for spinners. on this track. Even yesterday, when we played on the track alongside it, there was a lot of puff of dust coming out, a lot of cracks. Probably could have been called a wide, but umpire Brij Kumar decided against it. These are beautiful conditions out here for cricket today. I think the sun is out. It's not too cold at the moment. It might become a little cooler as we go into the afternoon session. Oh, that's a beauty once again. I think every now and then Rana Salman Ghani produces one of these jaffers. Drawing the batsman forward, as we see on the replay, just leaving the bat at the last moment. I think with that angle, with that action, Abdul, you would always think that the ball might be coming in. His action seems to suggest that, but he has that delivery which kind of cuts away from the right-hander.
He's clipped off his bat here. We'll wait for the final call from the umpire there. Brushes off. Felt like two voices, but can be his thigh pad. And then later on, the umpire decides to give it as a leg by. And they collect a boundary of his hips.
Yeah, slightly poor delivery from Rana this time around. Pulling it down the legs, an easy picking. Even if it did not hit the pad, he would have probably clipped it.
Nice there. He finds the gap between the slip cauldron. But third man being in place, will give them only one. Partnership of 15 runs. Venu, what do you make out of this?
I think they need to kind of take it 20 runs at a time. They should look at building it, from 15 to 30, 30 to 45, and look at maybe a 70 or 80 run partnership for Nepal to kind of get a formidable score out here. Flipped on the onside, a direct hit, but the batter made it on time. Good fielding out here by Canada. I think they have been really good in the field.
Good efforts in the field side, for sure. But the running has to be in a similar fashion where you try to put some pressure. That's how you are going to make singles and a good score. End of the over, 21 done, 89 for 3.
Sheel Patel continuing from the pavilion end. 1 for 11 so far. Nicely bowled once again. He has a predominantly onside field. He has a long on, a deep mid wicket.
A spin that the field that I'd like to see for the spin. Having a long off and long on. With a square leg, leaving that deep mid wicket. Why do you think, Venu, a deep mid wicket side is vacant?
Yeah, that's enticing the batter to swing across the line. He tried that and almost carried to the man behind square inside the ring. And I think that's a good ploy to get the batter to play that slog sweep once again. And we saw what happened yesterday when I think it was one of the left-arm spinners bowling for Canada from the other end, and they had taken mid-on up and enticed the batter to go over the mid-on fielder and ended up pulling out. So I think that's probably a good ploy to have. See a more spread out field today, though.
That is because Sheel is giving enough flight on the ball, and there are more chances that the batter can play an aerial stroke. And exactly because Sheel's bowling from the offside, and that helps not only the batter but also the bowler that's going to be chased and being cut out while they skitter back for 2 runs at least.
This is good batting out here at the moment by the Nepal batsmen. They're trying to find the gaps, looking for those ones and twos, something which we did not see enough yesterday. And that's one reason why they got stuck out in the middle overs. Mohammad Arif Sheikh and Bhim Sharkey are doing a decent job so far.
Good stop by Sheel Patel.
End of another over, 22 gone, 93 for 3.
Shahid Ahmedzai, the man who's been the starlight of the innings yesterday for Canada, high performance side, who plugged 5 wickets. I'm sure that a lot of Nepali fans are watching this and they're loving seeing the Nepal cricket team perform. And for sure, it brings on huge responsibility on the cricket team of Nepal to perform. And surely the fans have been a support, vigorous support from Nepal fan. And I think from any of the nations, talking about unwavering support, you talk about Afghanistan cricket, then it has to be Nepal who gives a strong fight. One of the stronger bases, stronger fan bases Nepal team has. I've seen that support for Dipendra Singh Aire, Rohit Patel, later for Sandeep Lamichhane when they are here for GT20 in Canada. That's beautifully bowled by Shahid Ahmedzai. And what Nepal cricket also loves is that the Takludai, Andrew Leonard himself calls, but unfortunately Andrew misses out today. I've been a great follower of his work. Was covering for Oman, Canada, Nepal series. Is always insightful. With that, we finish a quick over. 23 done and 93 for 3. We see a change with Sheel Patel being replaced, and it's Sukhjinder Singh. Was named yesterday tall, lanky, left-handed bowler by my fellow commentator Venu. Was precise, and I think Sheel Patel has rightfully complimented, and he set the stage for Sukhjinder Singh. Has got a wicket to his name, and is on rest, and he'll surely be back with Rana Salman was bowling on the other side. And not much movement from Ali Nadeem from first slip. He'll be far too happy to save his calories for batting.
That's right, Abdul. I think he was extremely impressive yesterday. Sukhjinder, from the other end, he's been brought on from the pavilion end this time around.
We do not have the privilege to go back and see the replay. That's an excellent ball. How Sheel Patel got hold of the batter. Oh, it did not have much turn on it. It was his variation that he changed. He mixed up. He hoodwinked the batter, thinking that he's going to bowl slow through the air, and as it came by, that's top edge. There's a fielder there settling in over the head of him. Backpedaling, not easy. An early start should have helped him. Sukhjinder will not be happy. The surely should have been bagged.
Yes, I think that was a little bit of a casual effort in the field. Probably should have been running backwards instead of backpedaling.
Late start to watch the ball. He remained watching.
And once again, I just feel that Nepal as well on that occasion played a stroke which wasn't needed, to be honest. That fielder has been kept there for the top edge sweep. And I know it's a high risk, high gain shot, but at this stage they could ill afford these kind of lapses in batting.
Questionable, just because they were going at 6 an over. But now Nepal's slided down to 3.994 an over. So I'm still trying to figure out if the approach is right or the safe approach for singles would go on. What do you think, Venu?
I think it's all about waiting for that loose ball and just looking out for those ones and twos at this stage as we see the end of another over. 95 for the loss of 3 wickets, Nepal. They're going at 3.96 an over, which is not bad considering the conditions. They can always accelerate towards the end, but I just need that they need a partnership of sorts at this stage, at least build a 50-run, 60-run partnership to
Test Carver does the least cutting. So for them to wait, how much would Nepal team will have to wait? Because if they're remaining patient, they'll starve. They'll get no runs. For me, it's just that rotating it on the merit, because you see that the spinners, especially Shahid Ahmedzai, who displayed his bowling masterclass yesterday, picked 5 wickets, is not going to be an easy task to score against him. To remind it, Sukhjinder, Sheel Patel, and 3 spinners were very effective.
agree, Abdul. I think what is also playing on their mind right now is what happened yesterday. And they would not want to be in a position where they don't play out their stipulated 50 overs. And that was a crime, to be honest, getting bowled out in 38 odd overs. And they would want to utilize as much time as possible in the middle to get that score of about 180 to 200, which we feel is a fighting score on this track.
But intent, a shot with intent is much better than a shot with no intent. That would at least give the coaching panel more clarity where a specific player needs to be worked on, because especially you're going into the league qualifier, second round against USA and Scotland. The sides have been dominating. It's not going to be easy going on US turf and playing against US. However, half of the innings is completed with 25 overs, 96 done for 3 wickets.
Sukhjinder from the pavilion once again, turn and bounce on offer, as we have seen often with his height.
It will be a circuitous route for the Nepal team. Because scoring against Sukhjinder and Ahmad Shahid Zai, it's not going to be an easy task. Being told that,
Once again, attempting the sweep shot, the ball getting stuck in his helmet, which is something we don't see quite often. And that also tells you a thing or two about the bounce that Sukhjinder generates.
I thought the keeper might appeal that. The same way Vridhaman Saha appealed for Steve Smith back in India on the test match.
That was one of the most hilarious things I had ever watched, Abdul. The ball getting stuck after getting an inside edge in between his pads. And Saha trying to go and collect the ball. Obviously, it was dead.
Not only that, he pulled him down too.
One of the comical scenes from a cricket field.
However, we'll have a little concussion test according to the umpire. Just because it's hit his grill. And while we do this formality, they'll also take some drinks. We'll be back in a jiffy.
We're back live once again. Sukhjinder bowling to Beam Sharkey. Nepal being a little extra cautious today after what happened yesterday in the middle overs.
The more you fear, the higher the chances are for it to happen. I'd say that go cash in all and see what happens. But that doesn't mean that you have a reckless approach. Calculated, identify who are you going to go against.
That's beautifully bowled once again as we speak. Sukhjinder has been right on the money. Took the outside edge, went past first slip. A couple of runs to the batters, but moral victory to the bowler once again.
26 done, 98 for 3.
As we see Ahmed Chai continuing from the other end. Nepal 99 for the loss of 3 wickets.
The batters of Nepal haven't been able to read Shahid Ahmadzai really well. They've been on the back foot. The good thing is at least they're trying to play him according to the line of the ball. They're not cemented. They're not there standing as a statue. 100 comes up for Nepal in 27th over. Bhim Sharkey. What makes me question about the approach is 45 balls being faced by Bhim Sharkey and 14 runs being scored.
Yes, I just feel he needs to get a move on. And when I say move on, it's not necessarily trying to go bonkers and trying to hit 4s and 6s, but at least get some singles and 2s going, rotate strike.
That's cut away.
Through the offside.
He's cut that away nicely and a firm cut. shot of authority after a real long time in the innings. And that's by Mohammad Arif Sheikh, who collects his second boundary. And the partnership comes on to 31 runs of 56 balls. Arif Sheikh trying to turn the rudder of the sailing ship of Nepal. It is zany because it is not only so it is just not you who are keeping yourself away, but also it is affecting on the other player. Sukhjinder back in attack.
Yes, I agree there, Abdul. I think that's what partnership batting is all about. You need to kind of look to rotate strike, get your other partner involved. Nicely bowled once again. A rare misfield by Canada, giving away a single. I think looking at Sukhjinder today, Abdul, I just feel that he has been a little quicker through the air in comparison to yesterday. He's just trying to bowl it slightly more flatter.
And it has worked out in his favor even today. That speaks a lot about the approach and the plan that you take it to the game. It's about planning and execution. Just because there's some assistance, he might have felt that, speaking with the coach, that he may need to try something different.
Oh, that's in the air, just short of Sukhjinder. That's a good attempt there.
Having the conversation being said, Venu, that the ball might grip in the surface and come late onto the bat. Look at this. That's why he's trying more flatter and quicker through the air. That when it's stuck, the batter is confused.
Yes, the ball is definitely holding up today a lot more than what we even saw yesterday. That's nicely played on the onside for a single. So some partnership in motion right now for Nepal. We're just looking to build this innings and get to a respectable total or a fighting total. Nicely bowled once again. End of the over.
28.
Nepal 106 for 3 after 28 overs. Shahid Ahmedzai, stifled appeal for LBW. Definitely going down the leg side. Shahid Ahmedzai was one of the heroes from yesterday's game. Took a fifer. He bowled from the other end yesterday. Definitely bowled a beautiful line. Used the conditions to his advantage, as we see once again him running in, and another slight misfield. This time no run taken.
That's Mihir Patel, who's been brought on to the field. Rare to see Mihir miss on one. A dynamic batter and an electrifying fielder on the field, Mihir Patel.
As we see another beauty there by Shahid Ahmedzai. Flight, turn, bounce, and dip all together combined. Once again, keeping the batter in check. I think the plan out here, Abdul, might be for these two batters that play till the 35th over. See how it goes from there. As you see, attempted sweep shot and brilliant fielding there at short fine.
That's a good save. He saved at least 2 runs for his team. 35 overs, I think the game might slip away, Venu. I say that because in the context of the game, looks like there's some excitement there. The keeper, Nicholas Manohar, did a fine job with his glove work. This will give us a better view from a different angle. There was definitely there. Oh, very, very close. Very, very close there.
Yeah, I think the foot was just about inside the line, I would say. But yeah, definitely a close shout. Good keeping out there.
The replay will definitely create some stir on the live chats and the streaming. Thanks to camera controversies. End of 29, 108 for 3.
Suchinder coming from the pavilion end. Cut away and nicely fielded at backward point.
Shorter, quicker, flatter from Sukhjinder with an economy of 1.89. Bowling his 4th over. That stop edge should be a dolly catch for the fielder who's at fine leg. One more going down. That's Bhim Sharkey for a long 53 ball struggle. He finally goes out for one, finding the fielder. A disappointment for Nepal, and Bhim Sharkey continues.
Yes, this was completely against the run of play. Sharkey definitely, yes, he was struggling, but a shot which is definitely not needed at this stage, given that there was a fielder placed exactly for the same reason. And it's not easy to sweep someone like a Sukhjinder Singh who is bowling flat. And there is bounce and turn in the wicket. We're looking at another potential collapse out here, given what we saw yesterday. 108 for 4 Nepal from 29.2 overs. The new batsman, Dipendra Singh Airi. Sukhjinder getting his first wicket. 1 for 6, miserly.
This is the elephant in the room. They needed him, and they've called him. They've called out the best batter in the side, Dipendra Singh Aire, out in the middle.
Sukhjinder once again from the pavilion end. Nicely bowled. Slipping down the leg side and too high as well.
This will get interesting, having Dipendra Singh Aire. Now the Canadian high-performance side will be pumped up.
Oh, that's beautifully bowled. Once again, you can see the amount of revs that the bowler is putting in. He's getting that sharp turn and bounce, and it's not easy for a new batter to come in and straight away face something like this.
Played that nicely along the swing of his own body. And good running by Dipendra. to come back for the second one. They complete 2 to complete the over. 27 extra so far in 30 overs and 110 for 4 wickets.
Yes, that's a cause of concern for Canada. 27 extras is way too many in a span of 30 overs. Like bowling almost, 4 extra overs, which consists of so many wides as well as we speak.
Disappointed us all.
That's an incredible delivery, and we see another wicket going down.
That's Arif Sheikh. Even the best of the batters will not have any answers to that, because look at the quizzical look on his face. It was just little movement of the surface has done the damage. And excellent collect from the keeper, because the reflexes from Nicholas Manohar were on point. Not easy with that deflection. Shows a remarkable effort, the way he collected. His handwork, taking the ball and his hand back. That reflex.
Yes, that was a brilliant take, Abdul, by the keeper. I think he was blinded by the batsman also when the line was straight, and the way he took the outside edge and the way he followed the ball with his hands was remarkable. It's not easy being a wicket keeper when it turns and bounces like that. Most of the time you're collecting balls closer to your chest, and I think that's a remarkable take.
The only bad thing from this ball was the keeper will be on the court side, and the record of the wicket goes for the bowler, not for the keeper. He also deserved some credit for that.
I agree. And that's why it's a team game. Everybody has to chip in. Everybody has to contribute. But yeah, definitely an amazing take there by the keeper. And what to say about the delivery? It was a beautiful ball. It was like, bang on target. Hardly anything that a batter could do about it than nick it.
It was yesterday that got hold of Yuvraj Samra, and today it was Asif Sheikh. Because those are the type of deliveries the batter may not have responses to.
You just got to give it to the bowler. You just got to put your hand up and say, wow, well bowled. I can't do much to that. So now we have 2 new batters on the crease. Kushal Burtel and Deepinder Singh Airi.
That's close, that's dead plumb, and Kushal Burtel will go down. Another casualty with the man down there for Ahmed Shahid Zai, who gets on the hang of picking wickets. He's on the roll here, Ahmed Shahid Zai. And Canada high performance team are ecstatic.
Not the smartest of shots to play when you just come on to bat. Playing across the line of the ball. And also getting trapped plumb in front. Something that Nepal would have to work upon, especially in the middle overs. We saw them struggle yesterday. And this is what we were speaking, Abdul, some time ago, that it's not easy for a new batter to come in at this stage and start scoring runs right away. You got to understand the pace of the wicket. You got to get used to the pace and bounce and the turn as well, which is on offer. And right now, Nepal is kind of on the verge of committing the same mistake that they did yesterday. 110 for 6 in 30 overs. We saw this roll out the same way yesterday when in the middle overs, Canada and their spinners brought them back in the game and they completely demolished the middle order.
They are just fraying out of their own batting because they are well-polished side and it looks like the fabric of them is coming out. I say that because that wasn't necessary out of Kushal Burtel. Deepinder Singh Aire is there under his wing. He can play that. Yes, you can play those shots, but look at the ask of the situation, especially when the team high performance is clawing in, when they are making sure it becomes difficult for Nepal team to breathe there out on the surface. You just will have to negotiate that. Knock it around the park for ones and twos, and that's a reckless shot, I'd say.
Yes, exactly. And I think playing across the line anyways is always a difficult choice and an option. But in this situation, it's even more dangerous, where the ball is turning, bouncing, as well as doing all sorts of tricks. And to a bowler who had a fifer yesterday, who was completely charged up, pumped up. And we have a left-hander out here in Gulchan Kumar Jha who has joined in. This would be interesting to see, a left-arm spinner against a left-hander.
Still got a slip there for Ali Nadeem. For sure, his confidence for Shahid Ahmadzai's confidence will be on the summit, because a fifer and then 2 wickets. Today's game, that should surely help him as well as his team, because these contributions are going to play a pivotal role for the construction of team victory.
Once again, an amazing delivery to finish the over. 111, Nelson. As we resume play, 32nd over in operation. Nepal at 1-1-1 for 6. Sukhjinder Singh bowling over the wicket now to the new batter, the left-hander. The score reminds me of the late David Shepherd, who was a terrific umpire and who used to do that hop when it used to be 1-1-1 or 2-2-2. A superstition which he carried along on the cricket field.
Do you think most of the players still carry that, having the same socks, raising their collars, or different type of mantras?
Well, I would be lying if I say no. Being a cricketer myself, I do a lot of things which kind of, are repetitive before a game or during the game. There are certain things which you want to keep in mind. And you probably believe that since I did that, that's why this outcome happened. So all sports people generally are superstitious. That's my take. At least if not all, it is 90% of it.
What do you do? Because just you mentioned that you do a couple of repetitive things. Just walk us through that. What would your take be?
Well, multiple things. It comes from obviously, small things like keeping your kit and your clothes ready the previous night in a particular manner. And, while going to bat, maybe playing my left pad first and the right pad next. Some of those things. And maybe constantly having one particular song or one particular phrase in mind while you're fielding or while you're batting to kind of keep you in check. Something that worked for you. I mean, these are some silly things which a lot of people do, but obviously different people do different things.
And what happens next if you are bowled out for a duck?
Look for a new song.
32 done, 112. Gulshan Kumar Jha against Shahid Ahmed Zai. They're hunting for a wicket here. That's been cut away nicely. Fielder at point. Brings forward with a good forward defense from Gulshan Kumar Jha. This is the second match out of the third, which are being played, which is going to be played next Tuesday. First one yesterday was lost by Nepal. They were on the edge of their seat because just a couple of runs short. 20-30 runs we expected that Nepal might be short yesterday.
I love the contrast out here, Abdul, for both these left-arm spinners. On this end, we see, MHI kind of MHI giving the ball a lot of air, bowling it slow through the air, and whereas on the other end, we see Sukhjinder rushing through and trying to kind of keep it flatter. So there's a lot of contrast and a lot of variations on both ends, and we are seeing two different approaches by these two left-arm spinners.
That is because look at Sukhjinder's height. He'll for sure be able to attain the bounce. That's going to play an X factor. Turn and bounce is not going to be easy for any batter. That's why Sukhjinder is trying to keep it flatter, quicker and faster. And that ends the over. Might bring on Sukhjinder for another spell. With 33 done, 112 for 6. Will be drinks break and we'll take a pause and we'll be back after the hiatus.
Welcome back to our viewers after a short drinks break. We have Sukhjinder Singh continuing from the pavilion end. Short delivery to start off with. Cut away to deep point. Nepal 113 for the loss of 6 wickets. Sukhjinder and Ahmedzai, both left-arm spinners in operation. As we have seen, these are spin-friendly conditions. Turn and bounce on offer. Gulshan Kumar Jha and Deependra Singh Airi.
One more change in the field. We got Angad Singh Bhatia in the introduction. Before the drinks break, it was Mihir Patel. It is Angad Bhatia now. Much more young squad. They are trying to give chances to the blooming cricketers who can be the future of Cricket Canada. Sukhjinder against Gulshan Kumar and Deependra Singh Aire. The best thing to knock Aire is to keep him off the strike. It was a part of Vancouver Knights this season for GT20.
Once again, some turn and bounce. Nicely played on the onside. These pictures are being brought to you live from the Maple Leaf Cricket Ground in King City. Oh, that's beautifully bowled once again. Going on straight with the arm.
It's getting cold, Venu, isn't it?
It is. Yep.
Can't contain myself from telling that. Afternoon 12. That's driven nicely into the covers.
The temperature is about 17 degrees at the moment. But there's a slight breeze blowing across the ground, which is kind of keeping the commentators.
I don't know if it's the shade which is keeping us cool or is it the breeze, because it's not that bad and the breath of air isn't that bad, but 17 degrees should be a beautiful day out where everyone enjoys. But I see a couple of spectators in their warm winter jackets, especially Brij Kumar, the umpire as well. Look at him in his jacket.
I told you about Bridge. He's always prepared. There we see him on screen.
He always has have this stopwatch on him. I asked him once that I really love your watch. He said that he bought it from Bermuda. It's got a very contemporary taste. Then down the track evades Ahmedzai. Reminds me of Billy Bowden. At times, Billy used to go wild about the players. And Brij Kumar as well at times can throw a little tantrum to the player if they're not on point discipline. He's a fun-loving guy.
Oh, he's a lovely umpire. Short and wide, cut away, but straight to the fielder. You need such characters on the field, right? To kind of keep you on your toes and also keep you entertained.
Because at times I think the players lose the track of time. And time is something that is essential for everyone, especially when the spectators come to enjoy the game. They like it more fast-paced, having it upbeat. Because most of us like the entertainment, and the players who've played cricket or they've lived in the game, they understand every passage of play.
Oh, that's a wild swing here.
Was not only missed by the keeper, but also from the slip cauldron Ali Nadeem.
Look at that turn and bounce. Missed everyone. Beautiful bowling out here by Ahmedzai.
He's bringing back into the right hand. It was Deependra Singh Aire. Should have been taken. This is one wicket they'd want to chop down.
End of the over. 35 gone. Nepal 117 for the loss of 6 wickets.
About 200
I
is
think
what
you're
we
being
were
a little too
thinking.
optimistic there, Abdul. I just feel that I still kind of hold my horses and say 160 to 180 might be a
Because
competitive
especially
score.
that optimism came, the ray of optimism comes from the performance of what Nepal in the past has displayed. Especially having this side with this power, they surely can do it.
Yeah, but the conditions are kind of telling us something else. As we see a really good piece of running out here by Nepal. They converted that into 2, and I think this is exactly what they need to do. Find the gaps in the field. There's a lot of gaps around, and get these 2s going because they're not able to find the boundary. I don't think we have seen a boundary for a long, long time now. I just think that they need to find these singles and 2s to keep the scoreboard ticking.
And that push should certainly be coming from Dipendra Aire's end.
Oh, that's taken as well.
And that's a soft dismissal. Ali Nadeem does not misses onto that one. A good catch by Ali Nadeem. And the first slip. For a minute, I thought that he might not be holding on to that one. Look at that. He clinches on, rolling down on the floor, and a wicket there. Dipendra Singh Aire desolated one more time on the non-striker's end.
Yes, I think that was a good ball as well. It kind of held its line. He was playing for the turn, took the outside edge, and the slip was there precisely for the same reason. This is good bowling out here by Canada and good thinking to keep that slip on, even for the left-arm spinner with the ball coming in. And right now, Nepal in dire straits once again. We don't want to see a situation as a Nepal fan where they get bowled out once again before playing out 50 overs.
I'm sure Nepal fans or the Canada cricket fans have definitely got a few ideas. And that would be to our viewers who are watching us live. What would the total be for Nepal cricket to be able to defend in the second innings? And for Canada cricket, throw in your comments and see what is the expectation that you have. You want the Nepal to be wrapped up on.
I think one thing for sure which I would like to see today is the introduction of spin a little earlier when Nepal come on to bowl. I think that is what caused a big uproar in Canada's batting. Tumpal Kami, the opening bowler for Nepal, is the new batter in.
Aire tries. Aire will definitely have to give some enjoyment and entertainment to our viewers, because I'm sure they are definitely watching and spending their time on the screens, expecting Aire to perform and go after one of the bowlers at least, because there's nothing to lose at all here for Nepal. And mind you, Venu, because it's just not the Nepal cricket fans who are watching from USA or Canada, it's also from Nepal. They might be staying up late. And to watch this at times might be really heart-shattering.
It is, as we see another over being bowled, 36 gone, 121 for 7. I just feel that, yes, Nepal have the most passionate fans right now going around. I think they are blessed to have their support. They are amazing fans, which we saw also in the T20 World Cup, which was just concluded. And I believe you also mentioned about some of their fan following in the recent series and even during the GT20 when some of their players are playing there as well, right? So I think it's amazing to have such support from a fan base which is so...
Forget about them. India, Australia, New Zealand, England, that's a topic of discussion for some other time. But the growing nations, what takes you by astonishment is that the fan base of Nepal, because the support they give every game they come to watch, it is absolutely going out of the roof. And it has to be for the fan base, at least Nepal playing 50 over cricket.
Correct. I think it's always nice to have people following you, rooting for you.
Tries to sweep. Ali Nadeem will be in pursuit of that one. Let's see if he'll be able to cut that one off. Cries of catches. Rush from Aire. He makes back in time. There was a little trip from Aire. And he makes it fast for the third one. And fresh legs, he should definitely look to utilize that. Both the batters having unused legs. They can try finding the gap. And Dipendra Singh Aire being the batter who's gifted with immense power. Presses forward in defense.
Last ball of the 37th over. Ahmed Zai tosses it up nicely, and that's the end of the over. Nepal 127 for the loss of 7 wickets. In yesterday's game, they got bowled out literally in the next couple of overs, and I think from that perspective, I think some lessons learned. Yes, they're trying to take it deep today and trying to see if they can get that score of about 180 or 200. What do you think? Is it still a decent score on this track?
I'd still say having Dipendra Singh Aire and his ability of hitting 150, 160, they should be still looking out for. And I'd be too ambitious if I'm saying the 200, 220 is still on board. But you know that cricket's a game of mystery, and a surprise can be revealed at any point of time. So 160 at least should give Nepal a good hope. And yesterday we saw that the game was hanging.
As we see Sukhjinder continue from the pavilion end once again. Tucked around the corner. Looking for the second run. It isn't there.
Now, the fall of wickets has been one of the major concerns for me, because first wicket is pretty rock solid. There's no confusion, no disarray, no changes there. And the first wicket performs the way coaches and the strategizing team wants them to perform. It's about the second wicket. The first wicket comes in, hangs in there. The very first wicket fell in after 50, 60 odd runs. The second wicket was on 70. And if you see the gap, the time, the amount of time the batters have spent there, especially with Bhim Sharkey, after facing 50 balls, 45 odd balls with no double digit score, I'm surprised there. I might be quoting a little too much with double digit, but it has to be the amount of deliveries you face, because if you face that, it comes with an onus on you.
Yes, I believe the Nepal middle order has been found wanting on both occasions, yesterday and today. And I just feel that they need to pick up more responsibility and convert those good starts that their openers give into decent scores.
Look at that. 16 runs of 54 balls. And how many have come out of boundary? One which he deliberately played in.
up.
It'll be a cat and mouse game for Dipender Singh Aire against Nishant Bhargava. We'll see his introduction for the very first time in the second day of second match. Yesterday, we did not see him bowl. First time taking ball in hand against Dipender Singh Aire, who's managed to push it in the gap.
Gentle medium pace bowling. Start off.
And it isn't that Nepal was compelled to play the way they are playing. They did get some opportunities. Yes, the bowling was tight, but there was no much intent from the batting side too. You'll have to make your shots someday. The bowlers are not going to lose the line, not going to lose the length. But as a batter, the job of the bowler is to come, pick the wicket for the team and deliver them. But the batter has to give a team good standing total. And there's a reason why you're standing on the wicket. Because it's going to be difficult, but you have a purpose there. Excellent bowling from Nishant Bhargava.
$129 for 7. We are looking at the middle of the 39th over. Nepal would want to get as many runs as possible in these last 10 to 12 overs. Once again, a wide.
Good work from Nicholas Manohar.
It's been a while since we've seen a wide, Abdul. There were a lot of extras in the first few overs, and now this one after a long, long time.
Now, with the fact Kushal Mala might come in late, it's Kushal Bhurtel who got cheaply out by the leg before. But I think it's Rohit Paudel who misses out. Sandeep Lamichhane, who's the substitute bowler. But with
I'm looking forward to seeing that for sure.
But Paudel being the substitute, and if they have some players who are reserved on bench, if they are the regular playing 11 for Nepal, then the game does not make any sense if they play with the regular 11.
So I'm trying to drive it on the offside. Could not pierce the gap.
Because if the regular 11 gets the chance in a game like this, where it is a practice session between the emerging team versus the Nepal cricket team, you are not going to explore, you will not be able to determine what your 11 would look like, the strongest 11.
I agree. That's the whole point of having these games, right? To kind of test your bench strength. As we